What helped me, I remember when I was in the hospital, there was a Nurse Pat, and she came in and she said, she came in the room and I said to her, "You're here to give me an injection." Because I had been pricked and prodded the whole 6 days. I was totally exhausted. And she said, "No, I'm not." And I said, "It's the time the nurses usually come in and give me an injection." And she's like, "Yeah." I said, "And I see you with, insulin in your hand." She said, "Yes." And so I'm like, "You're here to give me an injection." She said, "No." She said, "I'm here because you're gonna give yourself an injection." And I cried. I cried. Because it was just so overwhelming. And she let me cry. She said, "It's okay, but you have to do this because you may have to do this for the rest of your life, and I'm not going to be home with you." And I cried, and she said, "And it's okay because I'm going to be here with you." So she taught me how to give myself insulin, how to check my blood sugar. And then she said to me, "There's going to come a day when you're driving in your car and you're going to give yourself insulin and keep on going. It's not going to be this big of an issue." She said, "And I want you to do something." And this advice was a lifesaver. She said, "Every night you go to bed, I want you to have juice next to your bedside." And I was like, "Okay." She said, "Because it's going to come a night where you have a hypo, where you're going to experience hypoglycemia. And no matter how close your kitchen is to your bedroom, it's going to be too far." And she said, "You're going to experience an increase in your heart rate. You may wake up sweating, shaking, and you just grab that juice, And so I'm the kind of person that I listen to what people tell me. And so I did. When I was discharged from the hospital, every night I poured orange juice next to my bed. And I didn't need it for the first few days. But within a week, I did. I woke up, I felt overwhelmed. I felt like I was dying. I felt like I was doing the Usain Bolt to death. I didn't know what was going on. And then I remembered what Nurse Pat told me. And I reached over, because that's all the energy I had to do was just reach my arm. And she was right. No matter how close my kitchen was to me, to get out of the bed and walk would be too far. So I would encourage people, especially if you're on insulin, because there is something called dead in bed syndrome, where people experience hypoglycemia and they don't wake up, to always have juice available where you sleep.